since I can't do it otherwise. You ever notice, I wish I was in the land of cotton. Old times are not forgotten. Look away, look away, look away, Dixieland. I wish I was in Dixie, away, away. Dixieland, I take my stand to live and die in Dixie. For Dixieland that was born early, Lord, one frosty morn. Look away, look away, look away, Dixieland. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. You know your daddy's bound to die. But all my trials, Lord, soon will be over. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. His truth is marching on. He's so Trump. Elvis is so Trump, or is it the other way around? Trump is so Elvis. It's all about the show, but they're also good people. All right. I can't risk playing music, so I have to destroy it by singing it. But it gives time people to come on. Yeah, Ham will come on. Ham will come on. Ham will come on. Let me just sign in and get the prices. All right, there we go. 18867. There we go. Is truth is not. All right, so finger is 196. GTII is 15 cents. Stop buying that stock. Stop supporting the criminals. You'll get a chance. When there's a deal, you get a chance. Railtown flat on its ass at 28, 27.71. Big volume, 57,000 on the bid. Well, it keeps moving. The offer is all spoofing, I'm sure, at 52,000. Don't give up on Railtown. I know other things are moving, but Railtown is anyway, Railtown's where it's at. Finger 196. It was as high as 213. The volume is telling you something. It's 448,000 shares, and my eyes are twitching. I don't know what that means. GBUX is down 12 cents, 320. That's up from sort of the low point of the day on Friday, but it's down on the day. And then NIXX is down 2 cents at 167.30. And that's where we are. The overall market, the Dow's down 44, NASDAQ's down 185, S&P down 32. And just for the heck of it, PSLV is $11.09. So there we go. We went through the stocks. What's the meaning of that song? Well, oh, Dixieland. The United States was torn apart by the Civil War. In fact, it's still the worst, the bloodiest war we've ever been involved in. And it really did tear the country apart. You know, being me, I see it all about economics. And Lincoln, it was about keeping the country together. And probably a little bit of glorifying it was about slavery. But in any event, there's a book I read by a pretty intelligent woman. It was written in the 70s. I have it somewhere. And she studied it. I'm now pretty much convinced that Lincoln did in fact want to end slavery. It's just that he did it through the Constitution. And so he used the power of being commander-in-chief to push the Emancipation Proclamation through. And he got it through. But everything was dicey, and some people say he just did that to win the war. I think he did it to free the slaves. Anyway, what Elvis has done with that, it's called an American trilogy. He does Dixie first, and even now in the South, Dixie's a popular name, and it offends. It offends people who were hurt by slavery. But I'm not sure that that's superficial. It's not superficial. I don't know what word to use. use, is the best analysis of what happened, because after the war, carpetbaggers came in, and cotton remained, and maybe still remains, a critical source of income, the military. But it wasn't until air conditioning came in that life started changing somewhat. But it wasn't easy to be a white person in the South after the war either. So I'm not sure it's, I mean, it was easier. I don't want to stick up for the racism and the crap that uh, assholes did down in the South. But anyway, Elvis sings that, I think, as a way to highlight that the country needed to come together. And the song Dixieland, Dixie, is a beautiful song. And a lot of people in the South, white and black, shared culture that wasn't as much Northern. I don't know. I don't want to, it's such a hyper-charged, because I hate slavery and I hate racism, and it's one of the reasons I'm a Democrat. But I think that songwriter was trying to bring people back together. And it's called An American Trilogy. Winston Churchill's favorite song, at least he's claimed it to be, was Glory, Glory, Hallelujah. Horrible time. I'm glad I didn't live then. Just horrible. But I am glad the North won the war. All right. Good morning, John. Hey, John, I read in this book I'm reading, which is a little bit out of. It's amazing that how long this period of time has been for commodities. But anyway, the gentleman mentioned that there was, he's talking about what could happen if all of a sudden there's, for lack of a better word, a panic to get into gold and get into silver. Anyway, he mentioned, I think it was platinum. There was a squeeze in platinum in 2001, I think, 2000. Anyway, you would know all about it. I have to look it up. I have to study it. I never liked the song Money. I never liked that song. Money. I never liked that. It's a good song, but it wasn't one of my favorites. It's a crime. Money. I don't know. I never liked it. I didn't really much like Pink Floyd until they did the one about the popular one, All the Bricks in the Wall. But it wasn't my favorite. Pink Floyd wasn't my cup of tea. Hey, Augustine. I tend to agree with you. I think that Democrats are a party of racism, but I particularly now, and I think the North was, but it's tough. It's tough. I'm glad at the progress we've made. People don't focus on that progress we've made. I'm old enough to remember, in the South anyway, a white girl couldn't date a black girl, I'll tell you that. That's all changed, and that's for the better. That's for the better. I mean, a black guy, sorry. Anyway, let's not get caught up in racism. It's too high charged. How do we beat the finger shorts if all they have to do is hit the sell button? It's true. It's true. I've given you, Bill, my thoughts, and I don't know if I'm right, but I think the only way to beat these bastards is some surprise out of the blue that causes buying demand, like a revaluation or whatever. And maybe that's going on now. And I think a sustained price at a higher level, which causes the prime brokers to lose money because they're extending credit to the shorts. As rigged as it is, it's still a trade. And so if the prime brokers start losing money, they'll buy in. But I agree. I think it's they've turned everything into a ping pong ball. Everything. They turn, because they're such geniuses and we need it so much, they've turned every asset in the United States. I'm surprised they haven't gone to gambling and prostitution and drugs to do it. But they turn every asset into something they can collateralize and then sell a dozen times and charge fees and trade it. And they have derivatives against it. And they're such geniuses. And we need this. This is what we need in this country. We need a handful of men leveraging up every asset in our country with collateral and then expanding it with derivatives so they can trade it on the paper exchanges. I mean, it's just brilliance. And these guys, they go to a handful of schools and man, they're just the best. And look at the wealth they're creating. It's incredible, the wealth they're creating. We might even have our first 1 or 2 trillionaires, and the world is so much better off for it. It's so much better off. And just make sure Trump doesn't get in office. Keep voting for the Democrats, and life is going to be grand. We'll have universal income. We'll have, and that'll run through Morgan Stanley. I mean, where would we be without the bankers? I mean, the country is so much better off with the financiers out of New York, primarily out of New York, now Miami. Hey, Patrice. None are buying GTII. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Buy it once there's a deal, once you know what the value is. The singing. Anything by Leonard Cohen. I love Leonard. Well, love him is the wrong word, but I think his best song is Suzanne Takes Me Down to the River. I don't remember the rest of the words right now. Where the and the I can't remember the words. I also like his Hallelujah is pretty good, but everybody sings that one. He's got one other one that's really good that I always remember. But yeah, I liked Leonard Cohen. He was I don't know if he was a poor man's Neil Diamond or not, but he never got the he didn't get the early success Neil Diamond did, but they both had that same kind of music. Good morning. Well, the weather's very nice here, and hi, Ambi was first, by the way, with the cutest dog. Cutest dog. I'm keeping my 8,100 shares. Yeah. I mean, I still have shares in it. I'm not selling it, but I just don't think you can trade it. They're just there to steal. There is no bid and ask, and there's no value to the company yet. So you're just speculating, and you're going to lose. Odds are you're going to lose. So all right. Let's see if Ham's around. I don't know if he is, but he might be. He told me to call in when I'm live. And it's not working. Call. All right, there we go. Suzanne takes me down to the river. All right, he didn't pick up. I've got to figure out how I can play music. Some people play music, it's like they are reviewing the music and they don't get any hits. Not fair. It's just not fair. He's so dark. Oh, can't do that. I can't do it. Suzanne takes you down to her place near the river. You can hear the boats go by. You can spend the nights beside her, and you know that she's half crazy, but that's why you want to be there. And she feeds you tea and oranges that come all the way from China. And just when you mean to tell her, then she gets you. And just when you mean to tell her that you have no love to give her, then she gets you on her wavelength. And she lets the river answer that you've always been her lover. And you want to travel with her. And you want to travel blind. And you know that she will trust you. For you've touched her perfect body with your mind. I can't get this song. And Jesus was a sailor. Anyway, I like that one by Leonard Cohen. He'll call back. He'll call back. I like Dance Me to the End of Love. That's a good one. 1,000 Kisses Deep. You Want It Darker. I like that. Oh, there it is. So Long, Marianne. And I like, hey, that's no way to say goodbye. I loved you in the morning, our kisses deep and warm, your hair upon the pillow like a sleepy golden storm. Yes, many loved before us. I know that we are not new. In the city and in the forest, they smiled like me and you. But now it's come to distances, and both of us must try. Your eyes are soft with sorrow. Hey, that's no way to say goodbye. I'm not looking for another as I wander in my time. Anyway, that's a good song. He's gonna call. I love that, Ryan. I've never seen a better time to buy an Oriental rug. Tariffs are a one-off. Don't worry about tariffs. They're a one-off. Let me see if there's any news going on. Meghan Markle is crying. So that means someone's done her wrong song. Some other chick. It's all about chicks. Meghan breaks down as she reveals her love language gift for Charlie and Lily when they turn 18. Oh, God. I heard she's part of that NIXX thing. But there's no news. This is all crap news. The world is changing, and we got to hear about Meghan Markle. All right, so let's go to a different news source. The electricity's out in Spain and Portugal, and Generalissimo Franco is still dead. JP Morgan is turning bullish. Hey, that's how it starts. Canada goes to the polls. Pakistan and India are going to war, but let's worry about Meghan Markle. Trump floats plan to slash or eliminate income taxes. Oh my gosh, he's a fascist. He's a sexist. He's a misogynist. All right, let's see if there's any other news. Hey, that's no way to say goodbye. Massive blackouts in Europe. Chemtrails. I don't think I can talk about chemtrails. Let's check the betting odds on the next pope. There could be a pope named Pizza Ball. Pizza Ball. Could you imagine having a pope called Pope Pizza Ball? The guy tied are Pietro Parolin, Luis Antonio Tagle, Peter Turkson comes in next, Robert Serra. He's from Africa. Um, the sports book. Let's go to the sports book. Yeah, Pietro Parolin is plus 200. Luis Antonio Tagle is plus 225. Peter Turkson plus 450. Robert Serra, that's a conservative African, plus 600. Matteo Zuppi plus 600. Peter Erdo, I think he's from Netherlands, I think, plus 800. Peter Battista Pizzaballa is plus 900. Jean-Marc Aveline plus 1800. Raymond Leo Burke, they're not going to pick an Irish guy, plus 1800. Fridolin Bongo Besungu plus 1800. I think he might be it. Mikola Bishop plus 2000. Reinhard Marx plus 2000. Mario Grech plus 2000. Fernando Garrid plus 2000. And I guess we'll leave it there. There's a lot of other choices, but they're real long shots. There's Wilhelm Eek. Yeah, I think he's the one from Netherlands, plus 5,000. But I think the best name out there has to be Pier Battista Pizzaballa. Hello?
What's happening, William?
Well, everyone wants to know where you are.
Oh, I'm going live. I just think I got back on Twitter. Can you ask people?
I have no idea. Do you guys see him on Twitter?
I just posted I'm going live with William. I don't know if I'm on. I don't know.
So I was just going through the list of popes. There's one named Pier Battista Pizzaballa. Pizzaballa. All right. Yeah, Braden says yeah, and Zizu says yes.
I don't even know what I'm under. I have no clue. I can't see.
Well, it's popping up. Whatever you're doing it well.
All right, so I'm telling people I'm going live. Are you live?
I'm live. You're talking live right now. Zizu.
Okay, so let's go. You know,
I mean, you can wait a while if you want people to see your post. You can talk about something else. The football draft.
I know nothing about the Pope. The football draft is a disgrace that they turned it into a race thing with Deion Sanders' son because he wasn't drafted. He wasn't drafted because he stinks. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
The whole NFL draft, 80% of it is black football players, and they want to turn it into. Think about that. There's like 400 young black guys that all became millionaires.
Yeah.
And yet they want more. It's like ridiculous. Think about all the other young black guys that were cut. They were never given the opportunity because their father's not Deion Sanders. Yeah. So you wanted me to talk about something? There you go. I find it appalling. We got to work our whole life. We're not millionaires, and these guys are just.
I saw in the news that jet, that helicopter that took off at National Airport and crashed the American plane. The woman who was the pilot, she was flying it. That's not what the news said at first, but she was flying it. She had 45 hours experience.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding. That's what the article said.
Flying a Black Hawk helicopter?
45 hours experience. Can you imagine in the busiest airport? You'd put. That's my issue. It isn't. My issue is you can't promote people just to tick a box beyond their skills and experience and training.
It's terrible. Terrible. Hey, listen, it is what it is. All right. People signing on, William. I don't follow you.
I don't know. I'm sure you can go. Speaking of Jets and football, Ham strikes me as a Jets fan. No, he's that one quarterback, Jameis.
That's it. I'm a Jameis Winston fan. I don't follow pro football. I think it's a disgrace. And now they ruined college football, so I can't even get into that anymore. I'm gonna start cheering for bowling. Oh, ping pong. I don't know what the hell to do anymore.
He's into snooker.
That's what I should do. Except play snookers. That's what I should be doing. All right, listen, I guess we give him enough time. I'm back on Twitter. Don't ask me how, why, how I did it. I got a Yahoo email account. I signed under some stupid name. And next thing it says, put me back on Twitter. And I saw my old stuff there. So I don't know. I have no clue. I'll have to figure it out later. All right, so I had a ton of buying this morning of finger motion. All right, friends. The brokerage firms were not executing the buy orders because they don't want momentum. We had a 225 top. People were getting filled at 208, 209, getting better prices. All right? What we were trying to do is to put the shorts on the run. Instead, they were slowing down the buy orders. They executed the buy orders, but they slowed it down. And if you look at all the squeezes, the shorts are moving backwards. They're attacking people and moving backwards, and they can't get their footing. And that's when these things take off. All right? What they did is they slowed down the buying so they can get their footing.
Right.
So what has happened here, okay, even though it hasn't gone yet, it will go. And as I've said 1,000 times before, the more they sell, the higher it's going to go. And if they're willing to sell it to you cheaper, why not take it? All right? We were paying $213 for it. They pushed it below $2. And my brother, who's an expert in the market also, he's laughing because these guys are just insane. They sell 300, 200, 500, 900. Once they knock out a bid, they jump down 2 cents and start the process over again. So 300, 400, 800. And these numbers add up. You know, before you know it, you could, 800, 300, 200, 1,000. It's 10,000 shares in a blur. A stock that traded 500,000 shares should be up more than 9 cents or 10 cents, whatever it is. We saw the same thing on Friday. You're seeing the same thing today. I will blast the president to move faster and get these people arrested. All right? We hear they're coming. All right? Your opportunity to change your life is in front of you. If you can't see what they're doing now, then I'm sorry, because it's so blatantly obvious that they don't want these stocks going up. They just started to hit the other one, GBUX. They started doing the mark down there also. All right, so these guys are looking for ways to get people to sell your stock. They want everyone on this call to panic out. So that's why I told everyone to use a limit. Even though we didn't get to 225, 213 was the high. They want the person who paid 213 when the stock breaks 2 saying, oh my God, I didn't even pay for the trade and I'm down already. That's the head game. That's what they try to do to you. Volatility. If the stock goes sideways and it just does nothing, they can't get people to bail out. No one gets nervous. That's why I always tell people, when you play in a naked short selling stock, if you're buying 1,000 shares, you buy 300 at the offer. You buy 300 if it dips, and you buy 300 again if it dips. You get an average price. My friends today just wanted in. They just wanted to pay 2.25, and they can't. We couldn't even get it there, buying a couple of 100,000. It traded almost 500,000 all in the first hour. It basically stopped trading after we stopped buying, and they hit all our bids. It starts to drift lower because they keep doing the 100-share cha-cha, trying to mark it down again. That's all they're doing. It's the same stupid pattern. These guys it's such a disgrace that we have to watch this. It's just remarkable that the government is allowing these thugs who are going to crash, blow up these hedge funds, and drag down the brokerage community because they're on the hook for this mess also. These guys are willing to destroy the whole financial system for guys like Ken Griffin, the guy from Virtue, Jeff Easton, Hal Mintz, all these thugs. They're jeopardizing the whole financial system. And for everybody on this call, It's going to affect your children, besides you, your children, your grandchildren, your pension. It affects everything. The financial stability of everyone on these calls is at stake here. And you can sit there and say, oh, this guy's fucking crazy. Really? Wait until Fidelity takes a hit and loses a couple of $1 billion. And Ameritrade and E-Trade and all these guys start taking these hits. Because finger motion is not the only stock that this is happening to. They're gonna be losing $1 billion here and there. You can't stay in business when you're losing billions of dollars and have unlimited liability. Trump has shot the first warning shot to these characters, and they're still playing the game. Finger motion, they sold us 500,000 more. I told you I stopped counting. Last week they sold us 1 million shares more. And they started this week with 500,000 shares out of the gate. I don't know one person who bought the stock and said, oh, let me flip it to make 8 cents. Not one person. It was 196 on Friday. If you wanted to sell it, you could have sold it Friday. If you wanted, you could have sold it at 2 today. If the stock wasn't even traded once it got above 210. People's orders, it was just ridiculous. And all it's doing is it's going to make the short squeeze higher. I said 2,500, keep going. It'll be 3,000 soon. Because every share that they're selling, they have to buy back. And it's going to start, let's say it started today, it's starting at 2. People understand this thing. I'm on both platforms teaching hundreds of people every day. I work my ass off the whole weekend talking. All right? I don't have any more money to buy it. I'm not fucking Fidelity. I don't have zillions of dollars. But I can't wait for these guys to lose their shirts. And the problem is they basically went after Trump. And he's not going to let them get away by hurting his stock. Everyone calls him a money-hungry guy. He's disgusting. Well, he should go out and get all the money he can. And now finger motion is 192 bid for 30,000. And there's 5,000 off of the 193. That is the short by the short. That's exactly what that is. Short is buying and the short is selling. And you know what? I could see in a few seconds that the 192 bid getting hit for 30,000. That will be a wash trade. Or the short is sitting here hoping you sell it to him. All right? And he can cover the shares he sold at 210 today and buy it back at 192. So you can make 18 cents. Volatility, I told you. So they're manipulating it, hoping that you sell it. That's what's going on here. And like I've always said, and William said it too, once they stop selling, it's going to be impossible to buy. Impossible. Think about it when there's no offers on the one side. No selling on one side. And you got the market maker, the option guy buying it, the short seller buying it, and the real short. And the real short, for everyone who needs a quick recap again, that guy's short 2.5 million shares at $1.20. So the stock almost hit $2.20 today. They're down $1. That's 2.5 million. The most they can make from $1.20, let's say $1, just rounding it out, is 2.5 million. If the company went to zero, and they're down 2.5 million on the upside, with unlimited liability still to go, who in their right mind would be short that stock and staying there? The only person to be doing it is it tied to the naked short. When the naked short gets in trouble, that other guy's going to run first, and then the naked short behind it. That's what's going to happen next. That's how it's going to pan out. The option guy, he's sweating his balls off because guess what? He's going to have to cover 500,000 shares there. He's pushing it below 2 because he doesn't want to get in trouble. I mean, he doesn't have to start covering his options there. One of the shareholders, I don't know how many he did it, but he bought the 2s at a nickel, sold them at 35 cents today, and now he's buying the 4s and the 5s with the money, the free money he got there. That's called rolling up. All right, so he keeps the pressure on it, keeps buying more calls. Remember, having 10 calls of the twos, if the stock goes to 10, you make $8 times 10, you make $8,000. If you have 200 of the fours, 10 minus 4 is 6, times 200 is 120,000. That's why you roll up. In a stock that's got huge upside potential, it's better to own more of the cheaper calls. That's the brownfield fund position. That's how they traded on the Big Short. You can see them. They like to buy out of the money puts and calls. When a stock is going to move big or fail, they want a big swing. And that is my MO. Buying the cheap calls, little money, huge upside. If this stock is going to go, it's not going to 5. It's going to 500 fast. And that's how you become rich. Little risk. Everything's risk. Don't ever let me hear, oh, there's no risk. There is risk. But if you buy the calls at the twos and you bought them at 5 cents, sold them at 10, hold on, guys, going to buy 5,000 shares. So I'm going over to Schwab to buy 10,000 shares. I do a pretty good job pitching people at the pickleball court, right?
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of people. I've had people from Morgan Stanley. This guy's a regular guy. He wanted to buy the stock. He's going over to buy 10,000 shares right now. All day long I do this. And they keep selling it. I don't hear anybody saying, hey, I got out. You're full of shit. William's full of shit. There's no naked short. I never hear that at all. Don't worry about it. I'd love to hear it, but no one can even address that. It's so blatant. If the president of the United States is telling you, DJT, they want the SEC to investigate naked short selling, he just can't do it at DJT. He's got to do everybody. And for those who keep sending me stuff on GameStop, I do not get into the gory details of the high-frequency traders and how they manipulate your stocks. We all know it's computer-generated. We can see it. You don't want to get into understanding that. You bought a stock, there should be a certificate to match what you bought. End the conversation. The trading patterns we describe show you exactly how they're doing it. I'm not going to sit here and explain how Jane Street or Virtue or Citadel manipulate stocks with their computer programs. All right? You can see it in Finger Motion the other day. They sold like 7,000 shares with 100 share lots. It was like a machine gun. On their trading platform, a trader or short seller can sit there and determine how they want to sell the stock. Sell 7,000 shares in lots of 100. And they sell it at the market, Sell it at the market. Also, we get the machine gun. Today we got the machine gun, but it's a slow motion. That's someone doing it. That's one person doing these orders, doing that. When they want to do it quick, they put the machine gun on. When they want to do it slow, like they do it today, they did it slowly. Hit the bid, hit the 190, hit the $2 bid, offer $199. Then print 200 at 198. There's no bids. Hit it at 195. That's what they're doing. And they're not selling size. They're just doing it in small amounts. This is how they do it. Any questions from anybody, William?
Well, one that's been out there for a while. How do we beat finger shorts if all they have to do is hit a sell button? I doubt buyers have an endless amount of money to purchase shares. This is from a longtime listener, Bill Miko.
Bill, I'm sorry that you only understand 10% of what we've been talking about. The 90% that's missing is A, corporate action, which Finger Motion is doing. B, fundamentals with profitability is the second part of that. And the third part is that the President of the United States steps in and stops it. If the President of the United States does that, it's over within 1 second. If those three things do not happen, okay, then we should all go to the Cayman Islands. We could put whatever money we have left, and we should become naked short sellers, because then it's just do whatever you want. And there's no way that I would waste my time selling a $2 stock. I would go straight selling Costco. Why wouldn't I just sell a $972 stock? Why would I do Figure Motion at $2? Costco trades millions of shares a day. Just keep doing that if there's no responsibility. So there's your answer. There is responsibility, and it will come to an end. And the President of the United States has thrown a haymaker already. That was out last week when he said we need to investigate naked short selling. He said it, not me. That's what you wanted to hear. It's right there. If you think the president's playing games, for half the country that thinks that Donald Trump is a money-hungry fool, well, I hope he is that money-hungry fool, because he should come out here and smoke those guys to death. Everyone that's short DJT should get roasted alive and thrown in jail. That's what I'd be doing. But I think he understands that what's going to happen is the system is going to be some major, major losses in the system. And he has to wipe out companies like Virtue. He has to wipe out, these naked short selling funds, these guys that are short this thing. Is it Jane Street? Is it Virtue? Some of these big players, I think they all know it's coming. And they're in a panic and trying to get people to sell their stocks quicker. That's what the whole game is about. Get people to sell. Because the only way they can cover is to get people to sell. Or like GameStop, where Ryan Cohen sold them 140 million shares of stock. That's how you cover the shorts. They need to buy stock. It can't be left open forever. Finger Motion understands it. GBUX understands it. Other companies do not understand it. CHRS, cancer company, I spoke with them. CEO wanted proof, but instead, after he didn't want to spend the money to get the data, now he's sitting here, and because his stock popped up over from 80 cents to $1, it thinks he's a hero, and they're going to go away. They're going to wipe him out again. He has 1 billion shares short in that name. But I would tell you that it'd be a great buy if he was going to do something. He's doing shit. I had to call with him and his board of directors and his lawyers. Zero. He's doing nothing. And to me, a guy that's working on infectious disease, cancer, I wanted to help him out because I thought it'd be a great thing. But if you can't help yourself, go fuck yourself. I hope his company gets wiped out. Because he's a buffoon. He knows all about it now. I wasted my time, 3 different phone calls with him. Wasted my time. MULN did the same thing, wiped out. CELU did the same thing, wiped out. I tried to warn KNW, wiped out. I can't even tell you how many more. I met with Northwest Bio before they sold all those billions of shares many years ago. They did nothing. Who'd they hire? Some CIA guy, something Black, Carson Black or some nonsense. What did he do? Nothing. What did they wind up doing? Diluted the shit out of the company. Now I got to hear people tell me, it's only got 1.5 billion shares. 1.5 billion shares. This company needs to cure cancer and save everybody for that stock to go up. What's going to happen? The company's going to win the lawsuit. The market makers are going to pay them. They're going to seal it, and no one can talk about it. Wes Christian and the lawyers, whoever the lawyers are behind that lawsuit, the spoofing thing, they'll get their payday, make the company take their money. The company will say they're using their money to fight and build out their product, and the shareholders got to sit there and hope that the company nails it. Meanwhile, they've been destroyed by naked short sellers. But they have to wait for something else. But the company will get funded. You don't get any of that money, so what are you waiting for? CVM, same thing. I'll beat it. His stock is 30 cents. Does he want to do anything? Nope. Gert knows all about it. Never does anything. What does he do? He put in a filing that he wants to reverse the stock. He wants the shareholders to vote on it. What did he do? Nothing. Fuck you. He's fucking everybody. Not that he wants to. He's a good guy. But he's just doing what these guys don't understand Wall Street. We're Wall Street people. We fight. These guys are just all sitting there doing nothing. Every CEO that we all talk about, they all have a failed business plan, no matter what they do. You can make bowling balls. You're no good. You can do this. No good. No good. No good. It's like we're dealing with every time there's a company, Julius Caesar comes out and gives it a thumbs down. Kill him. Kill him. Kill him. Kill him. Who knighted these guys to determine what companies survive and die? And I keep trying to tell you, if it's going to work, you want to own finger motion. When finger motion works, we're going to talk to the guys at GBUX. They're next up. You can sit there and say, I know this is going to work, but I'm going to go play DJT. I agree with you. I just don't know how high it's going to go. I have no idea what the president's doing with Yorkville. They're bad guys. Or Devin, whoever signed those guys up. I have no idea if they're hedging or doing something or raising money. I don't know. Trump has raised money, did a deal with Yorkville, and they've been shooting themselves in the foot, but they also have a billion shares short. But I wouldn't count that as being a billion anymore. I'll say with all the sales or whatever they're doing and the trading in the stock, maybe it's down to 500 million, 400 million. All right. But again, you're dealing with a $26 stock versus a $2 stock. For the bang for the buck, I'd rather own the $2 stock. Because if DJT's going, finger motion is going straight to the moon. And this small company knows what's going on. My friends were just with the CEO, and they all know what's going on here. And they're here to help themselves and the investors in the company. I'm going to play Padel today. Anyone knows that new game, Padel? It's a new type of paddle game, if anyone's ever seen it. Padel.
It's just for girls?
I hope it's just for girls. I'm going to be one ugly girl out there. I'll take my wife's mop. I'll put it on my head.
This is a similar, I'm going to try to change this. It's a similar question. But what's going to change the situation so the shorts tactics stop working in finger? Is there still an order for 500,000 out there?
They've been buying the stock, people. My friends have been buying it. I told you that. I told you it's traded 500,000 in the first hour and it stopped, right?
Yeah. So that goes back to the other. Are the shorts, are their tactics ever going to stop working? I'm trying to change it from how.
No. So basically, what you're saying.
I'm trying to make it a positive question rather than.
No. Listen, William. This is a question that's it's valid. His question is, based on what he's seeing, it doesn't look like they're ever going to stop. That's what he's saying.
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Right? I got it. I've been saying that for 25 years, right?
Yeah.
But I've never seen it where we have the President of the United States on our side, the richest man on our side, and we have Devin Nunes, who's on the Intel committee working for Trump on our side. They're making bold statements about DJT. And if you think for 1 second, this is all about DJT, you're out of your bird, because, Pocahontas and AOC, they're all going to yell, oh, he's just helping himself. He has to help everybody. He just can't come out there and say, hey, fuck everybody else, just settle DJT. He's not saying that. And he won't say that. Boy, is it beautiful out today, William. Is that a cloud in the sky?
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
When I lived in London, one of our clients said to me, I don't see how they ever get the weather wrong in your country. It's so big. In other words, the blue skies, how can you get the weather in England? You have a blue sky like this, 30 minutes later, it's gray and raining.
Right.
But, here.
Oh, it's beautiful. There's not even any wind. I missed my pickleball games today because of this fucking shit. I have to sit here and waste my life.
Go see the blue skies. We don't have that many more blue. We're so lucky to be born on this planet with blue skies, green, and dogs that are happy to see you. And some of you have wives.
I am a happy person. Okay, but every once in a while I get pissed off Because listen, I can wait for my money. Okay, I'm not destitute. I'm okay. I'm not rich, but when you see friends like our good friend in Miami having a tough time battling cancer and having surgery, and it's just in a terrible situation right now, health-wise, that's what bothers me.
Yeah.
Because we're sitting here wasting our life, babysitting these scumbags. They deserve to get beaten with a bat. That's how disgusting this is, that people have to pass away. I had friends that passed away from this crime already. I mean, it's just a disgrace. And these guys, they think it's a joke. Whoever's on the other side of this whole team of people.
Yeah, they just have fun. They think it's a game.
They think it's a joke. At the end of the day, the high for five, we sold 25,000 today. Fuck those people. That's what they're saying. That's the mentality on that side.
Yep.
That's the mentality. Your company's a piece of shit. You're a pump and dump. You're a bag holder. That's the terminology they use. They use it all the time. This goes back to the Raging Bull. Trust me, I've been doing this a long time. Their attitude is fuck you. They don't even care. That's why they belong in jail.
Yeah.
The brokers that take the order, like that fat fuck from Morgan Stanley who works for Sharon Tell, have the balls to come out here and tell us who your client was. You have your books. What stocks did your client short every day? You know all about it. How come you didn't tell us about that? Everyone is hiding. The Anson Fund is busted and should be in jail. They wrote the reports with Hindenburg. You know the damage they did to public companies, investors? I remember watching Etsy go down from 130 on Andrew Left's fake report about a counterfeit t-shirt. We got counterfeit shares everywhere, but Andrew Left came out and said there was a counterfeit t-shirt on Etsy site that some supplier put up there. Like the company knows that there's a counterfeit t-shirt. How did Andrew Left figure it out? I believe that those guys opened up an account as a vendor, put them out there, and then had the company, and then they busted them because they knew the guy was doing it. That's what I think they did. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And yet we got to sit here, all these good people on this call that want to make money. I got you want to make money. All right? If you want to trade and make money, you have to go someplace else. I apologize. I'm not your broker. I'm not going to give you trading ideas all day long. I don't want to do that. But I will tell you this. This stock is giving you an opportunity that's out of this world. Out of this world. 2 could be 2,000 in a blur. And the more shares they sell, the higher it's going. And this stock is getting viral. Retail people are buying it. Okay? Over the weekend, I met a doctor. He bought it for his daughter, bought it, his son bought it, he bought 50,000 shares. 50,000 shares is a lot of stock. And these guys just keep selling it, selling it, selling it. But it's coming to an end. This is 25 years of me watching babysit this nonsense. And I feel bad that everyone on this phone has probably bought into a stock like BBIG or BINO or SONO or whatever, NIXX, and they MLGO, and some have made money, but 99% of the people have lost. Not because the companies, they always go after the company. Oh, the company's got to come out with more news. I told my friend, hey, do me a favor, when you go out to the meeting in Las Vegas, can you tell the CEO to put out some fake news? They just landed a $1 billion contract. Put out something like that. What's the difference? Let the longs put out misinformation so we can all get rich. They're not going to do that because they'll go to jail. The short sellers are selling shares like anything, posting, putting out capybara reports, knocking it down, Andrew Left, Hindenburg. They destroyed everything. Who knows how much money they've stolen for offshore people? I'll say Andrew Left has probably cost people at least a couple of $100 billion. Just look at the market cap in Etsy when it was cut in half from 130 to 60. Or what's his name? I put it up. I tried to get to Dan Bongino and the FBI, Cash Patel, the guy who wrote the negative story about IMMU going back in time. What's that? Green, whatever his name was. I forgot his name. He's always bad for his Northwest bio, too. I forgot his name. He did the story on IMMU. I got that story cold, what he did, putting out that fake story at night to protect the short sellers. He cost me $500,000. You don't know when they're going to attack. No one knows when they're going to attack. Put out these fake stories, and if they do, they all hit the sell button at the same time because they know it's coming. They work together. It's a criminal family. These guys belong RICO charges. And listen, people, all I ask you to do is retweet, say whatever you want to say, call the SEC, take you 2 minutes. Don't lend your shares out. That's all you have to do. You don't have to buy a share. If you want to get involved, ask questions. We'll answer them all day long. I know the sell tickets ain't coming to me. They're going to somebody. If anyone just follows the sell tickets today, we'll arrest 20 people. Today. We'll get Jeff Easton, his phone records, Benchmark, all of them tied together, and their little family tree of thieves. And you'll find out where they're parking it. Just today. They don't have to go back and look at the history. Today. Who sold all the stock knocking it down? Who?
My wife is so upset with me. I've tied up $100,000 for 2 years. Does your wife get upset with you?
My wife puts iodine on my food. I'm fucking orange, I think. She's trying to poison me. If you think your family is pissed at you, come over here. I did it for 25 years. I can't tell you how much money I lost, and that's why I'm not going away. I put my naked short seller away. I already caught one and put him in jail. Okay?
Mike Altman says they're going to run this shit down every single time. Too many players. Upside down. AMC 2.0, only we'll never see $2. You've already seen $2. And I think when people start talking, Mike, I'm just in general, like you do, that's usually the bottom. That's usually when it turns.
AMC, Mike, if you haven't paid attention, I had a friend with the chairman of AMC. Do you want me to put his fucking picture back up? I told you this guy was a jerk off, and I put his picture up there. So you're a 2.0, AMC 2.0. Number one, the stock went to 70, and you're a jerk off if you didn't sell it. I'm not being nasty to you. I'm just telling you the facts. If I had a stock that went from fucking 1 to 70, if I paid 20 and I didn't sell it at 70, you better put a fucking dunce hat on because you're a fucking idiot for not selling it. That was a chance of a lifetime. You got the same thing in GameStop. For the people in GameStop that are still crying that they own it, they're assholes. The thing went to fucking 500, then it squeezed again to 80. Everyone that was in it sold it. How do I know? Because the data shows me. The holders, I reported on it, the holders were 171% of the float, the bigger institutional guys. It's 36% now. 140% all dumped GameStop. All sold it. Michael Burry, Ryan Cohen, they all sold it, made a fortune. And they're buying back in at the bottom. I would buy in. If I made 500, what's the big deal fucking putting in money and buying back at 30? Big fucking deal. Instead of being up $400, I'm up $370, and I got another free shot. So if anybody was in those names, you put a dunce cap on your head for not selling it, and it's shame on you. Wall Street, including myself, we don't care. You had your opportunity.
And just to put a positive, you'll get another chance. It's a lesson learned. There'll be another in a different stock. I'm
just trying to tell you, we don't care about those names.
Yeah.
I told you, Aaron, whatever his name is, my friend was sitting with him with his son. I put the fucking photo up. He was at the Kansas City football game in his skybox with him, and he told him point blank, I said to do a dividend, and the guy said, no, I have no interest in doing that stuff to help them out. That's it. I'm building a business. That's what he said. End the conversation. And I told everybody, the guy's not on your team. Ryan Cohen, big team player. What did he do? He sold 140 million shares. 140 million. Who bought them? The shorts did. It's right there. I'm not making it up. Don't try to spin it, say someone bought it. If they bought it, they need to file that they own it. Longs have to file. Shorts don't have to file. There's your answer. You can't convince me on any other way. To me, GameStop and AMC are just two stocks. For some reason, they keep living. Now, I know there's hedges and there's shorts and all this stuff going on. There can still be shorts in it. But if you worked on Wall Street, any of the people asking these questions, big money managers are told by their lawyers, stay away from those names. You don't want, you're being told, the SEC's watching it, do not short it illegally. They tell them. And the stocks, if you look at them trade, they're trading like they're not there anymore. There could be shorts borrowing shares and playing, but the big naked short guys, they all drifted away already. They know better. The company got $5 billion in cash. You think they're going to sit here and short it? What happens if this guy comes out with grease light and invents something that can turn it, make it go? He has plenty of money. They want to target companies with no money. What's a company with no money? AMC. No matter what that company does, popcorn, movies, we all go. It never goes anywhere because why? Because he's got a lot of debt. That's it. And they attack it. So I think it's right. No. Should it squeeze? Yes. But it's over with. It went to $70. It's over.
David notices there's a lot of level 2 manipulation. He thanks the criminals, and he's now accumulating. So there you
Listen,
that.
You have to look at it, follow it. This is your opportunity to make a lot of money. This is not AMC, didn't go yet. This is not GME, didn't go yet. This is something that's been building. We got a short, toxic, debt spiral lender and his buddies trapped. They thought that we would give up, walk away. They tried to kill the company survived, and now they have a big problem. Because A, the company has the fundamentals to drive, to get to profitability. The CEO, watch the videos, it's right there. The CEO is 100% on our side. They can see it. They understand it. They have families. They have friends, shareholders that all want to make this happen. So it didn't happen today. You know what? We're not complaining. My friends, I just told you, my friends is going to Schwab now to buy 10,000 shares. People understand it. And I got it. People have been here 2 years. They're tying up this $100,000. You know what? I don't know where you own it at, but you know what? It may be time for you to start tiptoeing out of it. If your wife is giving you a tough time, sell 100 shares every day. And you can start taking your money off the table in figure motion. And hopefully that you'll have 60,000 shares, and that's when it goes when you have 60,000 shares, or 50 or 90,000 shares. At least you're making a sale, tell your wife, hey, I'm taking out what I got left. Here's the money, and what can I say?
Do you think there'll ever be a class action suit against Fidelity on wash trading?
Do I think there'll ever be?
Well, here's the question. Is there a way to file a class action suit against Fidelity based on wash trading proof?
Listen, it's their rules. It's their firm. I don't think we don't have any lawyers. We don't have any money to do this. I don't have any money.
No, I know, exactly.
West Christian won't take the lawsuit unless you pay them. All the lawyers.
And we all sign when we open our accounts. We sign arbitration clauses.
We're working for them, right? We're working for them. It's just not worth it.
Do you, a different person, different question, do you think the counterfeit short in Finger is communicating with Fidelity?
No. Fidelity is looking at their position and can see that they have this open sore. That's what's going on. Fidelity would never be part of that.
Do you want to talk about GBUX?
GBUX is next up. GBUX has got over 3 million shares short. It's a small player. It's ASCM, the market maker, taking orders from Black Tower out of the Caymans. Someone called us and told us that was the short. So we know who it is. I reported it to the FBI, the DOJ. I sent it to everybody. They're not getting away. That's how it goes. It's just so what? I can't juggle both. Okay. So I'm focusing on finger right now. We're buying the options. We're buying the stock. The stock is getting close to going. I think Trump is going to say something. This will go first. And then I'll just put more money into GBUX, and then we'll talk to them. I didn't sell one share of GBUX when it went to 10. Nothing.
This guy, I don't know him, but he's talked about Robinhood. Do you think they're going to be funny? You don't have Robinhood's a shit firm. They're just there
It's
to
nothing. It's not. It's an execution.
They admit Robinhood, Webull, when they came up, they admit they trade in fractional shares. They're just there to fluff it up for the anyway. Do what you want. Hidden Valley Pickleball. At what price would $2 options have to be bought in?
Well, no. There's someone. I'm the option seller, right? I sold 5,200 of these things at 5 cents and 10 cents, right? I've been selling them.
Yeah.
Because the stock was $1.25. It's not going anywhere. Fuck you, he's saying. All of a sudden, the stock's breaking too. And you can see they're in a panic.
Yeah.
Okay? Because he is now liable for 500,000 shares or 5,000 calls. Unless people turn around and all sell the calls back to him, okay?
Yeah.
He's got a big problem. So the naked shorts helping him out pushed it back down, or maybe he had a part of it, selling stock short, using his market maker exemption. Remember, they're market makers. They will have this rule that they're allowed to naked short. But they're not naked shorting into buying. They're just naked shorting for the fun of it, trying to sell it, knock it down.
Right.
So I don't know what he's doing, but at some point, he just needs the clock to run out before these options go. And with the pressure on the buying on the stock, is putting a lot of pressure on him to say, hey, you know what? The stock is below 2. All right, you listening to me, everyone? I sold my options at a nickel. That means he sold the stock at 205. That's what he did, right? If I could start buying back that 500,000 shares below 2 or below 205, I can make those calls go away or my short position go away. So between 195 and 204, 205, I can see him starting to buy it here now. The shorts are going to hate it because he's going to do what? He's going to add support to the stock because he's trying to cover. Remember, he's short the option at 205 and he's buying it back at 193, so he's making 8-9 cents on it. But as he supports it, he's going to drive it back over 2. And if he has to panic, he will drive it up to 3, in which case he has to do it all over again. So any shares he can buy below the 205, the 305, the 410, he can buy the stock back, and he's hedging it. He's removing that. He's removing the option that he sold. But he has to go long. And if he goes long, he's adding to support to the stock. And I do believe you'll see him start to cover in here because he wants to make those options, the $2 options, go away. The problem he's having is no one's selling the stock. People are buying it, so it just gets compounded.
This gentleman is asking if there's other tickers ready to squeeze. What do you think about BlackBerry, BB?
I haven't watched. I know it's a play. It squeezed up when AMC went, GameStop. I don't know why it went, but they were on that one also. The reason a BlackBerry or KOSSCO, those are hedge fund stocks. So some hedge fund that got a big position in BlackBerry, maybe they own, 50 million shares, says, hey, fuck, let's get this story out there that's a short squeeze. And they squeezed it up and they sell their position. That's what they do.
Ramon is holding 2,000 options. Is when you're rolling them, what's the max amount you advise? I mean, obviously, it depends on your situation.
This is how you do it.
And it's not financial advice.
My friend bought 75 calls of the 2s at a nickel. He sold some at 35 cents. So he made 30 cents. Let's say he did it 50 times. He takes the money, the 2,500, and he buys the 4s or the 5s at 10 cents. So if he uses that money just to 2,500 in profit that he made, okay, 2,500 into a dime, he could buy, 25 calls, whatever it is, whatever the amount is. He could buy those at a dime. Now what? That's 250 calls, excuse me, at a dime. So he's going from 50 calls to 250 calls. Now, the strike is higher, but if this stock is going to work and explode, would you rather own 50 calls at 2 or 200 calls, let's make it 200 at 4? And I just did the math. 50, if you take 10 minus 2 is 8 times 50 is $40,000. That's 50 calls at 2. Having 200 at $4 or $5 is 50 times 2 is by 200. That's 100,000. If it's $6, it's 120,000. It's the same math, and that's what it's about. You want to have more of the cheaper options. For these idiots to sell them at 5 cents, go look at Tesla. I don't know where it is right now. Let me just see if I can figure it out. I'll give you an example. Look at Tesla. Give me 1 second. Tesla, the 276, the stock's down $8 today. What are the $300 Tesla calls for Friday? Can anyone tell us that's on the call? The Tesla calls that expired is Friday. The 300s. I guarantee you with the stock, and today's Monday, they're probably $2 to $3. And that's $25 points away. 25. That's premium. 5 cents is almost zero. Do you understand what a critical mistake these guys are making? They don't think people understand options. That's the problem. But there's a bunch of us that do. And that's why there's over 35,000 calls have been purchased in the May and the June calls, all cheap options. Because we know that's $3 million. That's 3 million shares equivalent. When this thing breaks, we'll long 3 million more for no money. Now, Tesla, if I was selling calls at $3 and watching the premium erode because it's going to expire on Friday, it's a different story. You make $300 a sale versus $5. My older brother always tell me, never sell garbage, trash like the $5 options. Why? Because if the stock ever goes, you're going to get wiped out. And I've told that story many times. People on the American Stock Exchange were getting wiped out selling calls at a T&E, which is 6.5 cents, or an 8 to 12 cents, 12.5 cents. They were selling them hoping that they expire. And one day, Gulf and Western got taken over with, and it was up like $50 or something like that. It was a big deal.
I remember.
And these guys sold all these cheap calls that were going to expire on Friday. They sold them on Thursday, kind of collect the premium. And the company got taken over on Friday, and they all got vaporized. They lost their homes. They lost everything. Got taken out with handcuffs off the floor. Because guess what? They were broke. They couldn't handle it, and now they have a big problem. That's what happens. Not handcuffs. They just take them off the floor. I'm sorry. And now they're shut down. And all their assets, because as a broker, you need to have some assets to protect what you have. So most of these guys put up their houses and things like that. And what happened? They got shut down, got thrown out, and they lost everything because they sold in options at 10 cents or 12 cents. And that's what these idiots are doing to us right now. If you're buying a $20 stock, I said it before, a lot of risk.
Dennis just wants you to know the stock's up, but he's still down 62%. Thanks, Dennis. I guess you didn't take advantage of the lower prices. Do you know anything about NIXX?
No.
If Finger does go to some massive upside number, how can it possibly be covered? Is it a too big to fail situation?
Well, they did it in GameStop, right? It went to 500, right?
Yeah.
They did it in HKD, it went to 2,500. They did it in Volkswagen, it went to 2,500. The difference between finger motion and any of the names I just described, all right, is that because no one in those stocks were even educated about what was going on. Yeah. Do you realize that everyone standing here understands it except Dennis, who's down 62%? Hey, Dennis, why don't you come to D.C.? I'll meet you at the SEC. Bring your statements in, and I'll walk you in. And I'll say, here's a guy who's down 62%. Can you tell him who's selling all the stock? Dennis, anytime you want to go. And I thank you for being gladly to tell us you're down 62%. I have a friend that's got 4 million shares at $5. He hasn't said boo because he knows what's going to happen. Dennis, who's down 62%, who invested, has no idea what he's doing, instead wants to cry. And I'm not trying to pick on you, Dennis. If you are legitimately down 62%, tell me what day you're going to be at the SEC, or I'll meet you at the Southern District. We'll go knock on the door. We'll meet with the district attorney or the attorney general. We could sit there and you could tell them what happened to you and see if they'll follow the sell tickets. And I'll be glad to sit right next to you, Dennis. All right? So for people that are bitching and moaning like that, don't tell me about it. I know what it's about. I have friends that are down too. My friend paid 10 for $5 million worth of stock. He got $3.5 million. He got 3.5 million shares. Got 350,000 shares. He paid 10 so that the company could pay back Lynn. I think he's more down than your 62%. He didn't say boo. But anytime you want to go to a federal authority, please go to the FBI, Secret Service, anyone you like to go to. Instead of telling us, because basically everybody in this call, you know what they're saying about you, Dennis? We don't give a fuck about you, Dennis. We worry about our own money. And I appreciate it. I know you're probably hurting, and I'm with you. And that's why I'm fighting, Dennis. And I'm not trying to piss on you, Dennis, but we're fighting 24/7. And I don't need to hear you crying that you're down 62%, where I wasted 25 years trying to help everybody. And Williams wasted 3 or 4 years of his life all trying to help everybody to expose this crime. So, Dennis, go to the SEC, the FBI. They're in every town you live in. Go knock on the door and say, I've been ripped off. Who sold all this stock to me? Go get an answer. Then come back and say, you know what, I'm down 62%, but I got off my fat ass and I did something about it. Go do that and come back to me. I have more respect for you then than you barking out that you're down 62%, because most people here are losers, and we're trying to get out of this mess. All right, Dennis? So please, move along.
Drew is pointing out that what you're saying is once they stop doing washing and spoofing, the stock will bounce right back up, probably.
It will erupt, not bounce. It will erupt.
Yeah. Michael is coming in with a useful question. Is there a date for the warrant on Finger?
They're waiting. I told you, they're waiting for the earnings to come out, and that's when they could put it out. Remember, they audit, whatever audit they had to do is done. They can't put out the earnings without the audit, so the earnings will come out. The CEO has told everyone at both conferences that he just recently had, 100% the dividends coming out. They'll put out the filing right after they come out with their earnings.
And here's a very thoughtful question. This gentleman is just playing devil's advocate because no one's ever thought of doing that before. If the shorts know they are FUCKED, then what are they hoping for or waiting for? Maybe they think the SEC is not going to do anything. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No, they're hoping that the market crashes, which they had, right? The market crashed, didn't it?
Right.
Did the stock sell off? Nope. People were accumulating down there. So that was plan A. That didn't break. They tried to push it below 1. That didn't work, right? They were trying to turn it into a penny stock. That didn't work, right? They want the company to sell 100 million shares so they can cover it and do something. That didn't work. They're hoping the company's fundamentals will fail, that China's economy is going to fall apart. That didn't work. That's what they're hoping for. So everybody on this call, we're the short sellers. We have no way out. So you can either keep doing more while they allow it to you, right? Or you can go in the other room, put a gun in your mouth and blow your brains out. Those are the only two things these have. That's the only opportunity these guys have. And I don't think committing suicide is easy. So that's what these guys are facing. They're the ones having a tough time every day because they know at any given time, a brokerage firm like Fidelity can say, hey, deliver me my stock that you owe me. We don't want to get caught up in this thing. Because if you go belly up, Fidelity will have to go buy the stock in, and let's say they lose $50 million. They got a $50 million loss. They're going to walk around with this bill, and who are they going to give it to? They're going to give it to some short seller who's going to sit there, we're out of business, we're broke. Now, Fidelity's got to go out and get a lawyer to try to sue and get some of those assets from this defunct LLC, wherever it may be. And they're going to take a loss of 50 million, a billion, whatever it could be. That's how it works on Wall Street. So they're going to be walking around with this piece of paper looking for someone to pay the bill. And you say, what are you making that up? Oh, no, I put it up, E-Trade. I put it up on Twitter. A guy was short E-Trade, short a stock at E-Trade, a couple of thousand shares. The stock screamed. He lost $120,000. E-Trade bought him in and then sent their attorneys to sue him. That's E-Trade as a retail client. E-Trade's his prime broker. He had no money in the account. E-Trade protected themselves, bought him in. The stock hit 22 and he went back down, that stock. But that poor bastard got wiped out in the middle of it. He was short. He got squeezed. They bought him in. He owes them $120,000. He put up a GoFundMe thing trying to get money to help me. My short just got crushed and I need money. I put it up on Twitter. That's how it works for the hedge funds. That's how it works for the retail. Only thing different is in the hedge funds, these guys got a lot of leverage, and the prime brokers are helping them out with leverage and extensions. But once they run out of money and they don't have the money, the prime broker has to protect themselves or they go bust.
This guy sold his XRP to buy Finger, and his goal is to have 1 million XRP. Another guy's asking you, I guess he doesn't know how to Google, do you know the phone number for the SEC complaint line?
I will put it up for you in a second. How's that?
Yeah, that's good. Maybe it's hard to find on Google. I don't know.
I will put it up for you. You could become a whistleblower.
Okay.
And you can demand, they'll call you back. They're very nice. They'll call you back.
Do you think Finger showed, the shorts showed their hand at $2.13 in Finger this morning? Do you think it was a margin call they're worried about?
They're in a panic. Listen, if people are buying a stock and you're the short seller, okay? I worked with many of them. I told you that. If a stock wants to go up, why don't you just let it go higher? Why are they in such a panic to sell it lower, correct? That's what they did. They want it down because they can't afford the margin when it goes up. Pretty easy.
GBUX only has 8,000 volume. I have Finger, Robinhood, and Fidelity. Fidelity is not accepting any more buys.
You call them up. Call them up. What they're doing is slowing down. They're slowing down the buys. That's what they're trying to do. That's all they're doing.
If Fidelity knows there's a share imbalance, can't they stop the washing that's going on? Fidelity's not the only brokerage firm or the only market maker. They're not even a market maker. They're not the only prime broker out there. So the answer is no, they can't. Can the SEC go after Fidelity for taking away the buy button? No, they run their own shop.
So they can do what they want. Fidelity just came out and said they're not taking any orders from Puerto Ricans. Then they'll go after them. Other than that, no, they don't care.
They're not taking any orders from white conservatives. That's all right. Is it better to sell options, calls when the price jumps, or exercise? Yeah, well, you can sell calls against the stock. But he's also asking, do you exercise the option and rise the share? Why would you put more money in the trade? When there's no reason to exercise options unless you're building a position for some reason. That's just sell the calls. You don't want all that extra friction. All right, so what do you think about GBUX and the dividend?
I think it's great.
Is Ham on Twitter now?
Yeah, I'm back on. I'm just trying to, I don't know how to get it. I got it on my phone. I just don't know how to get it onto my iPad.
Lou thinks that the idea of going on Truth Social is repulsive. Trump, truth is an oxymoron. Well, all right, Lou, I think most of us disagree with you. You find truth with CNN, with Joe Biden, with the rest of them. The Democrats are full of shit. There's not a single honest one. The honest two Democrats they kicked out, Tulsi Gabbard and Robert Kennedy. So whatever. You can keep your ignorance.
I'm not a political guy.
Why can't we drive the stock up like they're driving it down? Because we can't cheat.
Because we got to put up money, and they have 10-to-1 leverage. That's why they get.
We're not allowed to cheat. We're not extended the credit they're extended. If somebody bought shares on margin on Finger and it squeezes, will they get the profits? Or is the broker not going to honor it? Well, if you bought the shares on margin, you own those shares as long as it's going up. If they spike it downward and you can't meet your margin call, they'll sell you out and you will not get the upside. So it's a really risky business, and don't think it's beyond them to shake you out when you're on margin. Don't overdo margin. Not laughing at your loss, just what Ham said. All right, I don't know. Faraday seems to match the pattern of Finger's move. What does Ham know? James Sullivan is saying Faraday seems to match the pattern of today's Finger move. What does Ham know? I have no idea what that means.
Faraday is a what? A transvestite? What is that? I don't know what that means.
I don't know. Maybe he's some genius.
So I put up a photo on Twitter of the AMC chairman sitting in the skybox with my friend and his son. I had to put a picture over. He asked the point blank in the picture about doing a dividend. Aaron said, "No, fuck you." That was the end of that. I put that up 2 years ago. Then I put up on Twitter, and I put the number on Twitter and on Truth Social. The whistleblower awards over $1 billion. You can call the office of the whistleblower at 202-551-4790. Please call them up. Knock yourself out.
What's that number again?
That number is 202-551-4790. It's the whistleblower's office, the office of the whistleblower. So you call them up and they answer, blow the fucking whistle in their ear first. Say, "Could you hear that, you fucking idiot?" Follow the sell tickets. Who's selling all the stock? That's all you got to say. And if they say anything, say, "Well, what do you know about naked short selling?" I told you they start printing it at 192. It was bid for 30,000. Now it's 11,700. So they are washing trades at this level.
Well, Donna says hello to you. Other people have said hello and thanked you.
Listen. I'm not here. I wish everyone the best, but I do not need your dirty laundry. If you're pissed off, I don't need it. I'm fucking pissed off too that I'm working every fucking day to help you, and you got to yell at me. The criminals are here, and you know what? And I'm not saying anything to that gentleman. I'm not trying to be nasty to him. But if I was short the stock, I would be on Williams' call every day, throwing a wrench into your plans. You guys are no good. I'm upside down. I'm down 62%. These are things the criminals say because they want to get the longs to give up. I'm trying to unite the longs and understand the same thing every day. I want you to understand what's going on, what the crime is, how it works, what they do. I don't know all the tricks that they're doing until they do it. Then I can tell you it. So a lot of days they do these moves, and I can't say anything. Why didn't you tell me that before? Because I didn't know they were going to do it. I have no idea. but they're using every low-level trick in the world. Right now, they have some problems with delivery, so they put up a big bid, and all of a sudden they start trading it. They don't sell it all. This bid for 30,000 something. They're using the old drip method, meaning they sell 3,000, 2,000, 1,100, 1,200. They want it to look like investors are selling, which is not true. I can see one investor selling, not 20 orders of 1,000, 1,200, all like that a piece. All right? So these guys are just trying to cover a fail to deliver from the other day or a week. Someone's calling for stock, and these guys can't stay short. So they have to wash the trade, and they tell E-Trade, let's say it's Fidelity. Hey, Fidelity, we owe you 30,000 shares. We just bought it back. We bought it from Morgan Stanley. They sold it to us, so we're flat. Here's my position. I'm flat. That's what they tell them. Meanwhile, they just put it into another account. And hopefully Fidelity will call them up in the next 10 days. They know what they're doing. They know they call it rolling a short position. It's like kiting a check, everybody. How many people in their life, when you were younger, you bought a credit, you had a credit card, you needed this credit card to pay for that credit card, to pay for this one, you were just taking money and going around in a circle. We all did it. I did it. That's what they're doing. Same thing. It's called kiting a check, buying more time. That's all they're doing.
Do you think we'll see a rise in finger motion in the after hours?
Let's get to the end of the day first. I don't know. Listen, we need money to buy. I worked my tail off and got us fresh money. I got us 500,000 shares at $2. We tried to pay 2.25. They won't let us. But I got us 500,000 at 2. I don't know about you. If you do the math, that's $1 million worth of buying, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty good, right? I'm not even a broker.
I'm broker.
I should become a broker. I'll be rich already.
Well, we run out of questions and we run out of
people. It's pure manipulation, and the same manipulation we saw at $1.20, $1.50, at 2, at 7. It's again right here. What's going on? What's the positive? Is Trump threw the hand grenade out last Thursday or the week before. He wants an investigating into the shorts, the naked shorts at DJT. That, my friends, is the cannonball. And it's going to happen. And Trump is going to smack these guys around. Okay, there's every action, there's a reaction. I'm sure they're trying to figure out what the damage is going to be on the other side. Who's going to go belly up? How many billions or trillions are going to be lost? They're trying to figure that out. Is it going to damage this? Is it going to damage that? I think that the short sellers have gotten a heads up. I think in the bigger names, they are clearing up their short positions. But in the smaller names, there's no way covering up finger motion. I told you, if it's going to 2,500, it's a mess. These guys are standing here doing what only thing they could do is to sell more, and hopefully we all faint, or we get the guy who's complaining, he's down 62%. They want him to sell. Call Jeff Easton up and tell him you want to sell, see if he wants to buy your stock. That's all it's about. The stock was $1.20. Now we hit 2. All right, we're working our way back. If it wasn't for security fraud, this stock today would have been $5 with all this buying going into it. But I can't stop that because the United States is a cesspool of garbage. And
we don't all live in New Jersey.
It's a complete cesspool. These guys they destroyed everything about this country. You know, I saw something the other day, someone put a video of an old man walking through, I don't know where, and all these kids were protesting, screaming at this poor guy. He had to be 80. And he turns around and they look at him and they put a picture of him walking as an old man. Then all of a sudden he was in a military uniform fighting in, Okinawa or wherever, landing on the beaches somewhere, fighting for the country. And these kids were just standing there yelling at him. People die for this country. My father went to Normandy. He landed on the beaches of Normandy. His friends died. No one cares. Go watch the Korean War. Anybody wants to go see something horrible? Go look at that. The Frozen Chosen, CHOSIN. Go watch that movie. Learn about that battle. You'll faint. That's how brutal that was. No one ever talks about it. Brutal. And here it is. Everyone that fought, their money's in the stock market, the police, the nurses, the doctors, everybody, the ambulance drivers, you name it. Sewers, everybody. Everybody does anything. And they let these guys rob your pension money? It's just remarkable. I've been yelling about this since 2000. I gave Pat Byrne the story about DNDN, where he says that your soldiers will die, force protection, soldiers will die so that Stevie Cohen or anybody else could buy a Maybach. And that's when I saw Ken Griffin in a Maybach. I said, Pat Byrne, you're right on the nose. There's his picture. I was in Miami. I told you I saw him right there next to me. People go, why didn't you go over and hit him? I said, the guy's a big guy, number one. And he had 3 armed guys with him. What are you, nuts? But again, it's a disgrace. There's no value of this stealing. Everyone who's not saying anything today, everybody on this phone should be proud that they're helping out. Because they're helping people that actually don't understand it. And people are so fucking retarded. They sit here and they retweet stuff that has nothing to do with anything. What do you think about this? Yes or no? People retweet it. I'm posting stuff here that could save your family and give you financial freedom. And no, I get 10 fucking retweets. 10. Just hit the fucking button. Retweet it. Maybe somebody else will see it. Copy Donald Trump on it. Copy the FBI. Someone. I don't care. And people are busy retweeting anything. Oh, look at this. Look at Katy Perry. Look at that. Look at the Kardashians. Who gives a shit? You guys are all going to be working in a fucking car wash if they keep stealing your money. You're going to lose your homes. Your kids are never going to get a chance to do anything. And I got it. We're a small group of people. I started with nobody. One of the people said the other day, William, on your call, he was here when there was like 20 people. The other day, I had 900 people on a call. 900. We're getting there.
I was on my own YouTube when there were 2 people.
Right. I'm just saying I have no problem talking to one person. I'll do it any day. But I keep trying. Everyone that I talk to when I play pickleball, when I'm done with them, they're buying the stock. And I don't even tell them to buy it. They go, can I buy it? I said, yeah, go ahead. I'm not telling you to buy it, but you can buy it. I'm just trying to tell you to protect yourself. If you ever bump into the situation, think twice before you're investing in something. Know what you're doing. Is the CEO on your side or not? AMC CEO is not on your side. That's 100% fact. And these people that keep trying to pump him up, and the guy's working against you. He doesn't care. He's trying to build his company. He got his money. He gets paid a lot of money. Blah, 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 blah. Finger Motion CEO, what does he make, $150,000 a year? He's not selling stock. That's where you really get rich, is when you sell your stock. No one's selling your share. God forbid the CEO sells share because he wanted to put his kid in college, say. The shorts will be out there, God, the inside is selling, hurry up. And people, inside of buying and inside of selling. Inside of buying is important. Inside of selling is useless information. People get shares in the public company to sell it. It's not fucking wallpaper. But when they buy it, you respect that. I knew a guy who did the buys and sells on that stuff a long time ago, and he told me that a long time ago. Buying is important because you use your own money. Selling is a non-event. People sell. Why? They have a death in the family. They have to put a kid through college, anything, a wedding, whatever it may be. They're entitled to sell it, but they will never sell it. All these CEOs are going to go to their grave with their wallpaper because they got no balls to fight back. MULN, he can get all the shares he wants, that guy. He just killed his own company. CHRS, he doesn't want to do it. You better make sure you hit whatever you're planning on, whatever your business is, you better make sure it works because there's no other way you're getting out of it. And what are they going to do in the meantime? If they're not going to help you and they're going to build a business, that means they're going to dilute the shit out of it and reverse the stock. Stay away. There's your warning sign. Guys that are fighting, they're trying their best. Now, I don't agree with every company that's fighting. I think there's some cockeyed guys in here doing stuff too, trying to take advantage of it. But you know, at least they're trying. I don't know who it is, you know, what companies they were. Who was that one? COSM? Remember that one?
Oh, God.
Yeah, they fought. We're fighting. What did they do? Reversed the stock, flooded it with shares. Everyone got compensated. See you later.
Summarizes it.
To me, that was something that wasn't. I never was involved with it. I never talked about it. I didn't like it, and it is what it is.
You told me I bought some shares when I was live. You told me if I didn't get out of it, you were never going to come on my call again.
Then I have to hang up, because if I said that, that's how I felt.
So I either lost a bit or made a bit. I got out.
Oh, good.
And you were right. You were right.
You could just feel it. You could see it. And I keep trying to tell people, I'd rather you not play the stock market at all until it's fixed. Or find
it is fixed.
If you find a company, this fixed against us. If you find a company like a Finger Motion or whatever your cup of tea is, then I would buy it. Other than that, if you get a story about anything, run the fuck away.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I would never, ever run away. I'm giving you my best advice. If Trump steps up and does something, then go play whatever the hell you think you can make the most money on. Because your opportunity, and I'm going to end it with this, William. Never before has the U.S. government, the President of the United States, told you which way the stocks have to go. They're not telling you they're going up, but if they sold stock, they have to buy it back. There's your answer. It's going up. Your answer's right there.
Yeah.
That's how it works. If they bought it and they bought too much and they have to sell it, they're going down. But they sold it and they have to buy it back. That means they're going up. All right, everybody?
All right.
I got to feed the monsters. They're going to go crazy. Why don't you listen to this before we go? You ready, William?
Yeah.
Just listen to this. This is me feeding two puppies in a second. Hold on. They're both sleeping on the couch. Let me just get their food. Listen. All right,
Cutie.
guys, hold on.
Cuties.
Hold on a second, wait. They're pretty quiet. Hold on. Anyway, that's what I have to do at 1:30 every day, and then feed them at 6:30. But listen, everyone. I stand by what I say. I'm not going away. Now I got to post on Truth Social and Twitter, and I sit there with the dogs all night, all weekend, doing this, trying to educate everybody else. And for the gentleman, Dennis, who's down 62%, I'm sorry, but go to the SEC. I gave you the number. Go make the call. Walk in with your confirms and demand that Jeff Easton's a debt spiral lender. Did he sell the stock short? I want someone to give us the paper trail on this. Go get your answers. That's the way I look at it. Anyway, everyone, have a great day. I'm done.
All right. Thank
and I'll
you.
go back to posting. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Bye.
Thank you.
All right. So if you're here for him, he's finished. I'm going to not stay on much longer because I agree there's been a lot of negativity. I'm sorry I make noise and I'll try to get better on that. I didn't realize that. Thanks for letting me know. So I just quickly, this guy, David Morgan, years ago wrote in his, I used to get, and I'm starting to get it again. Used to get his news service. Anyway, he talked about what could happen to gold and silver, and he called it heading for the blue screen of death. In other words, when your computer screen goes blue, and basically at the time, he was talking about what if there's a gold revaluation, and we've never been. His whole theory is we've never been through this. And I was talking to a friend of mine this morning about Eric Sprott's keynote speech at PDEC, and it reminded me of this page. I found it. He points out that on silver, the precious metal called silver, a silver quote unquote blue screen of death unquote event can take place on its own at any time because of the supply and demand situation. And he wrote this is 9 years old. The problem is the balance between demand for industrial uses of silver and investors versus supply. And John, it's not platinum, it was palladium. What happened with palladium in 2000, 2001. So you could compress what's going to happen into what everyone thinks about happening over months, weeks, days. It could happen in hours. And so anyway, I just want to read that part. What would it look like if all of a sudden silver had what he calls a blue screen of death event? On a Sunday evening, you're sitting at home. In the overnight market, silver price could rise $2 to $4 an ounce. In extended hours the next day, silver stock ETFs could open 50% higher. American silver eagles, Canadian maple leafs sell out in a matter of hours. They sell out. Premiums on junk silver triple from, and that's, John calls that constitutional silver, triple from the previous day's level. Local coin shops sell out of physical silver by noon the second day. Silver moves up sharply each day and ends the week up $15. During the week, silver producer shares triple, miners triple from the previous Friday's close. Over the next 2 weeks, silver retraces just 25% of its meteoric rise, forming a bull flag. On the third Monday, the moonshot continues, breaking through multi-year resistance at 38. He wrote this 8 years ago. At 38, then 44, and then finally the all-time nominal high of $50, closing a few weeks later at $75 an ounce. For several months, the price of silver forms a broad trading range below a spike high of $80, but it's unable to drop below $55 an ounce. That's what I said. I don't think it'll come back down into these ranges. Almost no metal is available, and when it is, the premium is $15 above spot. Primary silver mine producer stocks trade above their 2011 highs, sometimes 50 times higher than their bear market lows. 50x. Unlike in 1980, silver trading this time is a global phenomena. Internet news is instantaneous. Chinese market setting the price. The COMEX defaults on its future contracts and settles by paying paper promises. 4 months later, silver prints a new all-time nominal high and surges into the 125 to 175 range on its way to $250 an ounce plus in the biggest metals bull market in modern history. Gold penetrates $8,000 an ounce on the upside. And you should note, if silver gets to $125 an ounce, it's still cheaper than the inflation adjusted high in 1980. All right, I told you I'd keep it short. He says more, but I'll stop there. And I'm going to sign off after I go through these. Patience is the key. That's what my doctor says. Thank you, Narad, yourself. There's a post from Marvin, the CEO, talking about the stock, very positive. Oh, you mean Martin? Martin, why isn't everybody reposting it? That's a good idea. It's a good idea. What about having a ton of FOIA requests specifically on finger? That's a good idea. Put that out on Twitter, and I'm sure Ham will repost it, and then I'll join in. If you can sell finger, you might not be able to get back in. Well, you're talking about in squeeze. I will say, Connie, this is just how I'm thinking. I really made a mistake not selling finger when it ran up, and it cost me. Same with GTII. So this time, when a stock goes up, that was punishment to myself. I punished myself. And the thing is, when it runs up and you don't sell and it comes back down, you don't have anything. So this time, my attitude is, I'm going to go ahead and punish myself on the way up by taking stock off the table at what in retrospect could be very cheap prices. I was taught by several managers, if a stock doubles, take a third of your position off the table. There's an analysis here, and it's got a name on it. I can't remember. I don't want to look it up. But a more conservative way is if a stock doubles, take half your position off, and the rest is for free. I think I'm going to do it some manner, some fashion like that this time. That'll be my own punishment. If the stock goes to the moon, I'll be hurting myself, and I'll look back and I'll say, darn it, why? But at least I'll have some cash. I'd rather punish myself and have liquidity than hang on, have the whole thing round trip and crap out, and my punishment is I have nothing. This time I want to be more professional, more liquid. I just want to be liquid. I don't have that much anymore, though. I don't have. Yeah, puppy dogs. I mean, I used to have one. It's like they're starving. But my boy never made noise like that. He just always got excited. He'll tell you he doesn't know anything about who. As soon as he knows something, he'll let you know. But right now he's focused on finger. His next one up is GBUX. I'm sure the one after that might be Hoodoo, you think? And I don't know, did Hoo trade up? That might be the extent of his interest. All right, Jason, thanks for stopping by. I'm going to sign out myself. I want to go catch some sunlight, get some vitamin D. Yeah, I wonder if these power outages are Russia or China or the deep state. Martin Armstrong thinks that Europe's going to war with Russia. You know, we have very short-term horizons, but the British and the French, but the British used to have empire, and Russia has resources. And if you look it up, Russia's resources dwarf. I think they dwarf. I can't remember the number. I think they might be as high as 100 trillion, 50 trillion. There's some number, 75 trillion in national resources. Let's go to war. Let's go take it. It worked before. But thank God we have a president who Lou can't stand, because truth and the president are an oxymoron. But thank God we have a president, at least as Europe is concerned, doesn't want to go to war. I think he's starting to get sick of that suck up Adolf Netanyahu, and maybe we're not going to go to war in the Middle East either. But thank God we have a president, even though Lou can't, he thinks he's oxymoron Trump, and truth is oxymoronic. Thank God we have a president like the last, I guess, Lou, truthful president, Joe Biden, that doesn't want to go to war. Thank God. I hope we don't go to war. So anyway, peace to everybody. Peace to the little boys and the little girls around the world. Blessings to you all. Thanks for joining in, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Ciao.